What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing literally the biggest wins in the history of the Great League because I'm running 3 of the biggest Pokemon, with Wailord in the lead, the longest Pokemon, Alolan Exeggutor, the tallest Pokemon, and Celesteela, the heaviest Pokemon. If you're thinking this team seems a bit familiar, that's because I've run it before, but in the Open Ultra League a few seasons ago, shortly after hitting Legend rank, I decided to rebuild the team in the Great League and give it a try, and it was so much fun. With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. If I were to do the reverse of this theme team with instead using the smallest / lightest Pokemon, which Pokemon should I run? I ask this just because there are a few Pokemon like Cutiefly, Flabébé, and Cosmog, which really just aren't usable at all, but there are other Pokemon with very similar weights and heights that I could potentially try, so let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Wailord into Talonflame, so a great lead for the Wailord. The opponent is going to Safe Swap into a Medicham. Now, Celesteela doesn't have the most dominant matchup up against Medicham, so I'm going to stay in initially and go for a Surf. The opponent's going to use a Shield there, and then I'm going to swap. I try to catch a Psychic. Have I caught the resisted move onto my Steel type? Yes, I have, and that is great for me. Now, they will be able to make it to an Ice Punch as I reach the Body Slam, so I do throw on alignment here, expecting the opponent to throw straight away, and they do exactly that. Now, they let the Body Slam go through. It doesn't take them out, but neither will this Ice Punch, and one more Air Slash will be enough to take out the Medicham. They come back in with the Talonflame, and that's absolutely fine. Now, our switch clocks are slightly misaligned here, so I'm going to fully wait out the switch clock here, come in with the Wailord, and the opponent is going to go for a charge move. They could go for a Brave Bird, probably just going to go for the Flame Charge bait. They do bait with that Flame Charge, but that's absolutely fine. We're going to overfarm, go for a Surf just before they make it to the next Flame Charge. The opponent going to use a Shield, and then they swap into a Shadow Swampert. Now, this is great for me. I'm going to swap, bank that Surf, come in with my Alolan Exeggutor, and this Hydro Cannon is double resisted. It does absolutely nothing to the Alolan Exeggutor, and we can just fully Dragon Tail, farm them all the way down from this range, and come out with a Seed Bomb loaded. Now, Seed Bomb going to be resisted damage, but one Dragon Tail basically takes them out here. Seed Bomb, I could have fully undercharged this. It still would have been enough to take out the Talonflame, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Seviper. So pretty spicy lead here from the opponent. We're going to stay in initially. I'm actually going to swap and catch the Poison Fang onto my Celesteela here. I did typically use the Celesteela to catch resisted moves. I feel like it's not that bad of a safe swap compared to something like a Skarmory because we do have that Bulldoze coverage. So even the hardest counters like a Bastiodon do not want to tank a Bulldoze. So the opponent actually comes in with a Charm Alolan Ninetales. Very strange decision here. Makes me wonder what the hell is their other Pokemon if they come in with a Charm user. But here we can go for the second Body Slam, grabbing both shields from the opponent. Now we did have near a Surf loaded, so we just throw it straight away. Don't really want to tank any Charm damage here on my Wailord. They come back in with a Seviper. What I'm going to do is shield in this matchup. I knew they were going to make it to the charge move just before I made it to the Surf, and now I'm actually going to swap, get an energy advantage on my Alolan Exeggutor, and the opponent has a Shadow Swampert in the bag, so this is perfect for me. We can go for a Seed Bomb here. Probably could have fully undercharged it. Seed Bomb still takes out the Shadow Swampert, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Lickitung. So a more neutral lead matchup here for the Wailord. Of course, they could be running Power Whip. So once again, we're going to swap. We go for the catch here. And did we catch a double resisted Power Whip? Yes, we did. That's perfect. That does literally nothing there. Now, the opponent comes in with Medicham. Once again, very interesting swap into a Celesteela. But it is a fairly neutral matchup, as I have mentioned already. We are going to possibly shield this up here. No, we're going to let it go through. Ice Punch. Not quite enough damage to take us out. And this Body Slam will definitely take out a Medicham from this range, and the opponent happy to let the Medicham go down there, so they come back in with the Lickitung. Now, I'm actually going to come in with my Exeggutor here just because we do apply a lot more fast move pressure with these Dragon Tails, and one charge move should be enough to take out the Lickitung here. So I'm going to shield up the Body Slam. I will overfarm in this matchup, and I will go for the Seed Bomb here just before they make it to the next move. And Seed Bomb does take out the Lickitung. They come in with a Charge Bug, and here I make a really questionable decision. I catch the X-Scissor, which is fine, but they're going to be able to fully farm me down with the Volt Switches here. So we go for a Surf. I'm hoping I make it to a second Surf in time, but it's going to be really close here, and we barely don't get it. We don't get the new mechanic, but the opponent throws on alignment here. Now my only play is just to go for a full Dragon Tail farm down, and we're able to take out the Charger Bug there and take that game. So risky play on my end, probably could have not gone away with that if I just stayed in with my Executor there, but that's fine. We're going to see a Pidgeot in the lead, and we go for a Surf straight away, expecting the opponent to throw straight away as well, but they don't. They actually overfarm here, and then they swap into Lantern, and this is perfect for me. Executor is such a hard response to Lantern. We do double resist everything, and whilst Executor is very glassy, you can see we can tank 2 Thunderbolts here. I mean, they're getting us very low with the Spark damage. They get us into the yellow health, but that's fine. We go for a Seed Bomb here. What we don't want to do is allow the Pidgeot to fully farm us down, so the opponent has to throw a charge move here. They do correctly throw just before we make it to that Seed Bomb, and Feather Dance does take us out, but now we can align our Celesteela. We do resist everything. Brave Bird's still going to do a lot of damage, but I'm fine with that. I'm going to let it go through and hope that we can take out their back Pokemon with my Wailord, and they've got a Shadow Swampert. So we're going to swap here, clear the debuff on the Celesteela, go for a Surf straight away, and this should be grabbing the shield from the opponent, and it does exactly that. Now, I should consider shielding here in this matchup, because if they go for a Hydro Cannon, then they will be able to fully farm us down here, and they don't have to expend any more energy, which is not great for me. But now I can probably just double shield, fully commit to the Air/Farm down from this range. I don't really want to throw just in case the opponent tries to make a catch onto their Pidgeot, so gonna shield up the next Hydro Cannon, go for the Air/Farm down the Pidgeot, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Venusaur, so not a great lead whatsoever. Gonna say swap into my harder response in the Celesteela, and the opponent comes in with a Water Gun Lantern. Now, we can go for the Bulldoze here, and Bulldoze is going to do some very nice damage to the Lantern. It puts them into range where we can probably go for a Body Slam to take them out. So I'm actually going to shield in this matchup. I know that I can shield and then go for a Body Slam, grab a shield back, and when I do get some shields in this matchup, then I know Alolan Exeggutor has a higher chance of sweeping this game. So I'm now going to let this move go through. Surf does take me out. I did consider coming in with the Wailord, but I wasn't sure if I would be able to get that Water Gun farm down. So we come in with the Exeggutor. We get the Dragon Tail farm down. They come in with a Dragonair. We're going to go for a Seed Bomb here, and then I will swap into my Wailord. My intentions here is actually baiting out the Venusaur once again. So the opponent banks a charge move. They come in with the Venusaur. I could have gone for the Surf there, but I choose not to. Instead, I'm going to let the Frenzy Plant take me out. Come in with the Exeggutor. We double resist the Vine Whip damage. I'm hoping with the Dragon Tail farm down, we can come out with a Draco Meteor loaded. They go for the Frenzy Plant. We do use that shield, but we don't have the Draco Meteor loaded. We have to settle for a Seed Bomb. This is resisted damage, but Seed Bomb still takes out the Dragonair, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there, and we did go 5-0 in that set. So into the next game, we see Wailord into a Gligar, so a pretty good lead matchup for us here. The opponent going to swap into their Dugong. Now this is unfortunately not very good for my team. I'm going to stay in and just hope that I can land a Hyper Beam. In the Ultra League, I did run Blizzard because of all the Giratina and like Virizion, for example, but here there are quite a lot of water types where it probably is better to run the Hyper Beam, and we do connect, and now I swap. I'm hoping I caught a Drill Run, which is resisted, and we did catch the Drill Run, which is amazing for me. So we do regain switch advantage, and the opponent's going to come in with a Lantern. Not ideal for the Celesteela, but once again we are running Bulldoze, and it does mean I can align my Alolan Exeggutor to this Lantern, and we should be looking pretty good. Now Wailord unfortunately is very low, but I don't think it matters too much. We're going to wait out the switch clock because we are very misaligned with the opponent. Honestly, the opponent probably could have switched out already, but they're going to go for a Surf with the Lantern, and now they swap, but my switch clock is back up, and we're just going to go for that Water Gun pressure. We're going to go for a Surf here, and this will obviously grab a shield from the opponent. You can argue that there was no point in throwing there because I will just be able to fully fast move, farm down my opponent's team here, but we're going to shield here. They go for an Aerial Ace. They will not make it to 3 Aerial Aces. In fact, they didn't even get off the second one there. I'm able to Dragon Tail, farm down the Lantern, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Steelix. So a pretty good lead matchup for the Wailord, but I just really hate playing up against Steelix. It's just so annoying. The opponent safe swaps into Medicham. Once again, going to chip with the Surf and then swap into my Celesteela. This time I don't try and catch a move here just because otherwise Wailord would get fairly low from that counter damage. The opponent goes for Psychic anyways. Not sure why they did that. That was very strange. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why they did that. Maybe running Power Up Punch as the secondary charge move, but still very weird. We go for a Bulldoze. That does big damage to the Steelix, and I will be able to make it to a Body Slam as well, which is really nice. This might even grab a shield just if the opponent doesn't know the counts or the moves that we do run, and we do grab that shield, but now Steelix has a ton of energy. This is quite scary because it's very likely that they're going to bait me with a Breaking Swipe, so do I shield? I do shield. It is the Breaking Swipe bait, which is annoying, and the opponent makes it to another charge move. I think this is enough energy for the Earthquake. It is the Earthquake, and unfortunately they've got a Gligar in the back, and I needed to shield that charge move there, but Steelix really annoying to deal with. The opponent will make it to back-to-back aerial aces before I can take them out with my Exeggutor. So we go for the Seed Bomb. The opponent does shield it up. They can safely go for the charge move, and my Wailord is just way too low. They will be able to wing attack, farm me down here, and I do lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into next game, we see a Shadow Gardevoir in the lead. So typically on Go Battle Day, you're going to see a lot of fast move pressure teams like this Shadow Gardevoir. There's probably going to be like a Victory Bell or a Bastiodon in the back. Who knows? We're just going to stay in this matchup. Of course, we can't align the Exeggutor to it. Now we come in with the Celesteela. I can safely shield this up, and if it is a Bastiodon, once again, we do have that Bulldoze, which we can go for, but the opponent comes in with a Shadow Machamp, so we're going to go for the Body Slam here. This is going to do a lot of damage if they let it go through, which they do. Now here, I should be able to live a cross chop from this range, so I will also let it go through. And the opponent has a Shadow Victory Bell in the back, and this is perfect for me. And we can go for the Body Slam, grab the final shield. Now we can come in with the Alolan Exeggutor, go for the full Dragon Tail farm down. We should live a Leaf Blade quite comfortably, but I'm going to shield anyways, just for the sake of it. Get the Dragon Tail farm down, come out with a Seed Bomb loaded, and this will be enough damage to take out the Gardevoir, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next go, we see Dugong in the lead. So a bit of a tricky lead matchup. We kind of have to land the Hyper Beam here and hope that the opponent doesn't debuff our attack. So I'm going to let the first move go through, and the opponent is going to go for that Drill Run straight away. So that's fine with me, and I will be able to make it to that Hyper Beam just before they make it to the next charge move. And Hyper Beam, can we connect? Yes, we can. It does big damage. I'm going to swap. I try to catch the next Drill Run onto my Celesteela, but the opponent holds onto the energy. Very smart, and they do go for the Icy Wind now. Now they come in with a Medicham once again, but we're debuffed, so this is a lot worse for us. We go for the Body Slam, grabbing a shield because the opponent doesn't know our charge moves. They make it to a charge move, can't really afford to shield here, so I will let the Ice Punch take out the Celesteela. We've still got 2 shields, but we've got to be careful because Alolan Exeggutor, if we see like maybe 1 or 2 Ice Shards from that Dugong, is basically game over. So I'm going to go and shield up the Ice Punch here. I'm trying to go for the Dragon Tail farm down, but we won't make it, so I do settle for the Seed Bomb here, throwing just before they make it to the next move there, and the opponent's going to swap into the Dugong. We don't quite take them out with the Water Gun damage. They come in with a Shadow Gligar. They can safely shield up the Surf, and they should be able to outpace me to a charge move now with that massive Wing Attack farm down as well. Honestly, there's no point shielding here, so I will just let the move go through. Gligar takes me out with the Aerial Ace, and I do lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into next game, we see Clefable in the lead, so a fairly neutral lead matchup here. They do have to go for a Moonblast to do big damage because a Meteor Mash would be resisted. Gonna go for a Surf straight away. We throw on the CMP tie, winning the CMP, and the opponent lets the Surf go through. The opponent is going to full send the Moonblast. It does big damage. They won't be able to Fairy Wind farm me down though, and so I will stay in, just force them to throw their energy, and this will be a Meteor Mash. It does take out the Wailord from this range, but we can resist it, Dragon Tail, farm them down, and the opponent's got a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, so we go for a Seed Bomb here, and then I will swap into my Celesteela because it is a little bit more bulky than the Alolan Exeggutor, and we do catch the Rock Slide. Rock Slide going to do about 30% of our health. They come in with a Greninja. We make it to a Body Slam before the opponent throws their energy, which is great. This might grab a shield. No, it actually doesn't grab the shield there. And at this point, I'm just going to let Celesteela go down. The opponent is going to go for the Hydro Cannon, taking out the Celesteela. We come in with the Exeggutor here. And should I shield this up? I probably should. Night Slash, I looked this up after, does slightly more than a Rock Slide, and it actually does the same as an Earthquake from Galarian Stunfisk. But can we just go for a full resisted Dragon Tail farm down? It is going to be incredibly close here. And the opponent is going to go for the charge move here instead. I don't know if Mud Shot would have taken us out there. It would have been close, but as a result, the Dragon Tail takes out the Stunfisk, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into next game, we see Defense Form Deoxys in the lead, so going to stay in this lead matchup just because typically it's Deoxys and then like a Dugong and maybe either Greninja or Umbreon, so I kind of have to get my Exeggutor aligned, well, basically against anything that isn't the Dugong. So I'm going to shield this up. The opponent goes for a Thunderbolt first time round. They make it to a Psycho Boost, but I can live this, and I will be able to Water Gun farm them all the way down. And we are going to come out with nearly a Hyper Beam loaded as they do come in with the Dugong. We make it to the Hyper Beam. Can we land yet another Hyper Beam? And the answer is yes. That does huge damage to the Dugong, but they do have an energy advantage here. They will be able to debuff me with the Icy Wind. So Icy Wind going to do some nice damage there. It does about 30% once again. Going to go for a Body Slam just before they make it to the next charge move, and Body Slam will be grabbing a shield from the opponent. Now I'm actually going to shield here, and then I will swap into my Executor, which seems like a weird decision, but if it is the Greninja, we should be perfectly fine. But no, it's actually a Kanto Muk. I was not expecting that at all, and this, unfortunately, is going to be game over. They can let the Seed Bomb go through, very nice, and now they can just go for a Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch will easily be enough damage to take out the Celesteela. And we do unfortunately lose that game. So we lost that game due to a incorrect team read there, but it does happen. Very similar team to a lot of teams I've seen before. So that is the benefit of slightly changing up a very common team, is that it can sort of throw your opponents off. But into the next game, we see Frostas in the lead. We CMP tie them to the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, we lose the CMP, and they do full send the Shadow Ball. But they do let the Surf go through. They swap into Venusaur, and we can hard wall the Venusaur with our Celesteela. And like Skarmory, we can safely go for a full air/farm down. Frenzy Plant, not going to do too much damage. We're not as bulky as the Skarmory, so it's going to look a little bit worse, but it doesn't really matter. Second Frenzy Plant gets us into the yellow health, but we're perfectly fine. Opponent comes back in with the Frost Sash. We go for a full air/farm down. Go for a Body Slam. It's a Scrafty in the back, so we can actually go for a Body Slam. If they shield, we can now go for a Bulldoze here. And this will do slightly more damage. The opponent actually double shields the Scrafty, but we've got a Alolan Executor in the back, and we can safely shield the charge move. Probably going to be a power-up punch bait. It is the bait, but that does not matter. We can go for a Seed Bomb here, and Seed Bomb is going to do big damage to the Scrafty. It nearly takes them out. One more Dragon Tail takes out the Scrafty, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Medicham. So we are going to be able to outpace them to the Surf before they get to a Psychic. So what I will do is go one turn before they make it to the Psychic, and then I expect the opponent to overfarm by one more counter before going for that Psychic, and we swap. And did we catch yet another Psychic on our Celesteela? Yes, we did. And that's perfect. And once again, baiting out a Lantern. This obviously not great, but I don't mind this. We got quite lucky, and actually we didn't see any Lantern in the lead, which is very nice because it does obviously core break our team. The opponent gets the farm down, but it doesn't matter. That energy is going nowhere as we come in with the Alolan Executor. They go for a Thunderbolt. That does about 20% of our health there. We can safely let the next move go through. They go for another Thunderbolt, and we will be able to go for a Seed Bomb here to take them out, but no, we're actually going to shield this up. Go for a full Dragon Tail farm down instead. They go for a Surf. Honestly, we probably could have still lived that. I'm not really sure. They come in with a Wall Rain. Going to go for a Seed Bomb here, and the opponent is very likely to make a catch on the next charge move, and they do exactly that. So very nice play by the opponent, catching the Seed Bomb onto the Medicham. But now we come in with the Wailord, and it's just a baiting game. Are they going to full send an Earthquake here? I'm going to respect the damage at the last second. It is the Earthquake, and that is amazing for me. They need to make it to another Earthquake to take us out. We can go for the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam nearly takes them out there. We get the Water Gun farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see a Shadow Victory Belt in the lead. So awful lead for us. Gonna say swap into Celesteela, and the opponent comes in with Dugong, and immediately I was thinking, oh god, is this the toxic Yonkers team that he put out recently with Carbink in the back? And if it is, then I think we just straight up lose this game. So gonna let this move go through. They go for an Icy Wind. Honestly, probably should have shielded that. And here we're gonna go for the Body Slam. I was thinking we might make it to 2 Body Slams here. So we go for the first one, but we barely don't make it to the second one, and that is painful. We don't grab a shield advantage. We don't grab switch advantage. And it's basically just game over here. I'm going to let this move go through. The opponent is going to bait with an Icy Wind, which is interesting. And we will be able to Water Gun farm them down before they make it to a charge move. We come in with Executor, and it isn't the Carbink. It's actually a Gligar in the back, so we might have some play here. We're going to shield up the Aerial Ace. Going to overfarm, go for one extra Dragon Tail, go for the Seed Bomb. And I'm hoping the opponent does overfarm in this matchup, allowing me to make it to a second Seed Bomb. But no, they do throw just before we get there. Very smart play. I'm actually going to shield this up, go for the Dragon Tail farm down, go for a Seed Bomb, but I need the opponent to shield this up. It is double resisted, but no, they do let it go through, and at this point it is game over. We don't even make it to the Hyper Beam anyway, so even if we did grab the shield there, a Surf wasn't taking them out, and the opponent is able to Razor Leaf farm me down and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, another Shadow Razor Leaf Victory Bell, and this time it is Bastidon in the back, so this is where Bulldoze is going to be very nice for us. Obviously, these air slashes are double resisted, so Bulldoze won't put them into range where we can farm them down, unfortunately, but it will be able to force a shield. So I'm going to shield this up, and then I will be able to grab that shield back from the Bastidon. And here, I'm actually going to overfarm in this matchup, go for the CMP tie, and the opponent throws on the CMP tie as well. So that's amazing for me. We grab the shield, and the opponent throws their energy, so amazing for me. This should put them into range where I can just water gun farm them down. So, going to come in with the Wailord here, waiting at a switch clock, and the opponent is going to actually swap back into their Victory Bell. We come in with the Executor. I should be able to live this, so I will let this move go through. Leaf Blade is double resisted. It does a lot more damage than the Thunderbolts and the Surfs from that Lantern, but that's fine. We tried to go for the Dragon Tail farm down. Unfortunately, we won't get it, so we have to go for the charge move here, and the opponent has a Galarian Stunfisk. We barely make it to another Seed Bomb. That's massive for me. This should put them into Surf range. So here, once again, it is a baiting game. Are they going to full send an Earthquake? We're going to shield, and the opponent does full send the Earthquake once again, and that's perfect for me. And now I will be able to make it to back-to-back Surfs. Honestly, I could have committed to the full Water Gun farm down, but I play it safe. We go for the first Surf there, grabbing the shield. The second Surf will be enough damage to take them out, of course, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to the opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into a Pidgeot. Now, this is another matchup where it's a bit dicey. If they do just full send a Brave Bird, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of them do like to bait, and this opponent is going to full send the Brave Bird, and unfortunately, it just takes out the Wailord there. They now come in with a Licky Tongue, and even though we're a Steel type, this isn't that good of a matchup, just because Licks do add up. Body Slam, even though it's resisted, is going to chunk a fair bit, and our Body Slams are going to be non-stab, so they're just not going to do that much damage, and Air Slash also isn't a great move here. So we're going to go for a second Body Slam. We kind of need to swap out here and preserve some of our health for that Pidgeot. So we come in with Executor, we can shield this up, and we are going to be able to fully Dragon Tail, farm them down, come out with nearly a charge we've loaded to throw into the Pidgeot coming back in, and it's very likely that they do shield in this matchup. So they do shield up the Seed Bomb here, and the opponent is going to throw really early here, so I'm expecting this to be an Aerial Ace. So I'm actually going to shield this up. It is the Aerial Ace, and because of that, we can get the full Dragon Tail farm down, but they've got a Lantern in the back, and we're just too low, which is really unfortunate because we completely hard wall this Lantern. I swap into my Celesteela, hoping we can make it to a Bulldoze, but we're not able to do so. We have to go for a Body Slam here. Honestly, Bulldoze wouldn't take them out from that range anyway, so it didn't really matter. And they now have a Surf to throw into Executor, and we do unfortunately lose that game. So if we just shielded up that Brave Bird in the early matchup there, we probably would have been fine, because they probably would have just swapped out into the Lantern, and we would have been able to absolutely wall it with the Executor. But GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Azumarill in the lead. Once again, this is why we are running the Hyper Beam coverage up against water types, and Hyper Beam does big damage to the Azumarill. We swap there, we try to catch the next Play Rough on our Celesteela. Unfortunately, not able to do so, but they come in with Gligar, and we absolutely wall the Gligar here, resisting everything they can throw. They go for a dig, not going to do too much damage here. And we will make it to 3 Body Slams here before they make it to the next charge move. So we go for the second Body Slam. Body Slam will be getting them fairly low, and they're going to commit to the next dig here because Aerial Ace wouldn't take us out. And Body Slam takes out the Gligar. They come back in with the Azumarill. They've got a lot of energy here, so they will make it to another charge move before we can farm them down with either Pokemon. So we come in with the Executor here. We're going to have to shield this out, of course, because if it's a Ice Beam or a Play Rough, it would take us out. But they've got a Venusaur in the back, and this is a really good matchup for us. We can actually just safely shield this move, and I should be able to fully Dragon Tail, farm them all the way down from this range, and we do get the farm down. And at this point, the opponent is going to concede the match there. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Wailord into Unova Stunfisk. So bit of an awkward lead matchup here. Of course, Discharge will be super effective. We can let one go through. We do live it here, but the opponent's going to swap into a Wigglytuff. And whenever you see your opponent swap into a Charm user, it's probably because they're running double Charm. And if that's the case, then we unfortunately are just going to lose straight away here. We go for a Body Slam. Doesn't do that much damage. We have to throw a second Body Slam to take them out from this range. And the opponent's just going to let the Wigglytuff go down. At this point, I should consider trying to preserve the health on my Celesteela, but it's just not going to be enough. If they've got something like a Shadow Granbull, even though we're a Steel type, they will be able to fully Charm farm us down. So really no point in staying here or trying to preserve it here. They go for a discharge. We come in with Executor. We are going to catch or force them to throw a double resisted discharge there, and it is the ground ball. Unfortunately, the only win con here is if they let this go through for whatever reason, but no, they're going to be able to fully charm, farm us down, charm, farm down Executor, and take that game. So even though I had a pretty good idea that it was going to be double charm, there was just nothing I could do in that matchup there. So GG's to that opponent. And into the next game, we see a Hypno in the lead. So Hypno, not a Pokemon you see too commonly these days. It's just not quite as good after a lot of Pokemon have been buffed in recent seasons. We are going to shield this up. They go for a Shadow Ball, so probably not running Thunder Punch, otherwise they probably would have just thrown that. So here we're going to go for a Surf, and then I will try and catch the next Shadow Ball onto my Celesteela. And we are going to be able to catch that move as well. I did swap out one turn early, so I get a full Air Slash in for free. And the opponent actually goes for an Ice Punch bait there. Ice Punch probably wouldn't have taken out the Wailord, so doesn't really matter here. They only make it to a second Ice Punch, and we do get the Air Slash farm down. So let's see what the opponent has in the back. They come in with Greninja. We will make it to back-to-back Body Slams before they can make it to a Night Slash to take us out. So we go for the second Body Slam straight away, and this Body Slam is going to get them into the yellow health after one more Air Slash. They do overfarm by one, go for a Night Slash here. Night Slash is not going to get the boost for them. We come in with Executor, and we can just probably let this move go through. We might shield it up. We do shield it up. And let's see, the opponent has a knocked out in the back. This is not ideal. We won't make it to the Draco Meteor, so we swap, and the opponent ends up throwing their energy, which is perfect for me. And now we easily make it to that Draco Meteor. And this is the first time I got to send it. Draco Meteor gonna one-shot the knocked out, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Shadow Steelix in the lead. So once again, good matchup for us. But Shadow Steelix is so good in this meta that even though we're dealing super effective damage, they can just go straight Breaking Swipe and make this incredibly close here. As you can see, Breaking Swipe gets us into the yellow health. Of course, they are going to shield in this matchup here, and the opponent does use that shield. They're going to make it to another Breaking Swipe. They do outpace us as well, which is annoying. So now I'm going to have to match my shields here, go for another Surf, but if they want to, they can double shield and fully Dragon Tail farm me down. So I do fully expect them to double shield, go for the farm down, but now we can wall this energy with our Celesteela. The opponent's going to go for that Breaking Swipe. We are going to go for a Body Slam just before they make it to the next Breaking Swipe here, throwing on the CMP type, which we do win because Steelix is a very bulky Pokemon. We take them out there, and the opponent is going to think about what to do, and they're going to come in with a Bastiodon. So we swap into our Executor, and the opponent, just out of habit, swaps out into Victory Bell. We get the full farm down, and that's perfect for me because now we can put them into range where one Bulldoze will be enough damage to take out this Bastiodon. So we go for the Seed Bomb, gets them into, well, not that low really, to be honest, but we go for a second Seed Bomb. That gets them into the yellow health, and now a Bulldoze will easily be enough to take them out here. So we're going to shield this up. I'm not quite sure how much energy they've got. I'm hoping we can outpace them, and we do get to that Bulldoze in time, and this is double super effective. It will be taking out the Bastiodon, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.